I ranked all 100 minigames for Mario Party Superstars from worst to best. Some of you are probably like, Game Guy, why would you put yourself through that? You know why? Because we just crossed the 100 subscriber mark, and I wanted to show you how much I love every single one of you. Now let's stop wasting time because the minigame train is about to leave the station. Starting off with number 100, we have X-Ray Payday. Okay, hear me out. This one isn't so bad in terms of playability. If anything, it's kinda good. It takes some memorization skills to keep track of what boxes you're supposed to open. But can we talk about how absolutely f***ed up it is that we're posing as what I assume are airport security officers who are blatantly ignoring all of the bombs, not to mention stealing all of the passengers' money. At 99, we have Castaways. This isn't really a bad minigame concept. It's cool to fish for treasure chests full of coins. But the problem here is that when you play this minigame with a group of friends, no one ever knows what the heck is going on with the controls. 98 is Puddle Paddle. Great start for the coin minigames here. This minigame is pretty horrible. You just row your raft around collecting coins that Hammer Bro throws, but the control that you and your partner have over your boat is kinda wonky, and the Hammer Bro will literally throw money bags directly onto the other team. Number 97, Piranha's Pursuit. I love me some PD Piranha just as much as the next guy, and I'm glad they used him instead of a generic piranha plant in this version of the minigame, but this minigame is as unbalanced as ever. Every time it comes up, you can almost guarantee that the solo player is gonna win. 96, Manner of Escape. This minigame is simple enough. Just find the correct door on each floor that leads you to the floor below. First one to the bottom wins. The problem is that it's completely broken because everyone just ends up copying whoever finds the correct door first. Nothing matters until you get to that second to last floor. 95, Honeycomb Havoc. No matter how hard you try to count ahead to see what the right move is, it never seems to matter. It also takes kind of a long time to get through this minigame for how slow and boring it can be. The only thing it has going for it is that it's unique. A lot of the minigames in Superstars have one or two others that are pretty similar to it. This one really doesn't. 94, Trapeze Artist. What can I say? This one is just kinda boring to me. The only way to win this is to capture one or both of the golden Goombas, so make sure you do that. 93, Tug of War. Of course we all ignore the warning and still use the palms of our hands to rotate the control stick. I honestly think they brought this one back solely for the memes, because this is nobody's favorite minigame. I also can't shake the feeling that I'm literally damaging my controller when I play this one. 92, Winner or Dinner. Another coin minigame in the bottom 10. I don't understand why this one specifically had to be a 2 versus 2 minigame. Having a partner serves literally no functional purpose in this minigame. Also, there aren't enough coins available to collect in this minigame to warrant just how boring it can be. I appreciate how the signature Mario Party 8 post minigame cutscenes are back though. This one shows our characters die in a sandstorm. 91, Hammer Drop. The only reason I'm putting this one spot higher than Winner or Dinner is because you can get richer from it, and it's every player for themselves. Otherwise, it's pretty similar. Number 90, Blockstar. Have you ever heard someone get excited for Blockstar? I sure haven't. It's like Candy Crush, but way worse. 89, Paint Misbehavin'. Paint Misbehavin' is a great concept, but for a minigame that's not supposed to be luck-based, I feel like there's not a whole lot you can really do to control whether or not you win. You just spam paintballs at the Goombas and hope the wrong Goombas don't get in the way of your shot. Hey look, another Mario Party 8 cutscene. 88, Chip Shot Challenge. Don't get me wrong, I like this minigame. It's basically Mario Golf, but the problem with it is that if you're playing with other real live human beings, everyone who doesn't go first can just learn from the people before them and copy what works and avoid what doesn't. Kind of like the glass bridge in Squid Game. I think one way you could balance this minigame a little better is to change the whole placement between each player. That way, no one can copy each other. 87, Spin Doctor. It's the only dual minigame of the 5 from Superstars that's almost entirely luck-based, which I think can kill some of the potential excitement when a long Mario Party is getting down to the wire. Also, when there's only 5 dual minigames, each one needs to be really strong. Otherwise, the entire list is looked at as just a little weaker. Number 86, Rapid River Race. This isn't an inherently bad minigame, it's just a fast boat drag race with 3 lanes of obstacles. I just think the joystick sensitivity is a bit too touchy in this version of the game, making it tough to really feel like you're in control. Hey look, number 85 is another river minigame, River Raiders. Oh, it's also another coin minigame. It is kind of fun to play as the solo player here and throw the trio off course, but beyond that, it's just okay. Number 84 is Flash Forward. This is just a worse version of Slapperazzi from Super Mario Party. They honestly would have been better off bringing that one back, but of course, this game completely ignores the existence of Super Mario Party, so they did. 83, Dark and Crispy, just like I like my bacon. This one has the potential to be a lot better. I just find it to be a little too easy. I don't know if my screen brightness is just too high, but in this version of the minigame, you can see Bowser hiding in the dark pretty well. I prefer the version from Mario Party 6 where he's completely hidden. It's scarier. Number 82, Sneak and Snore. This is basically red light, green light. There was a bit of a lag in the original game when hiding in your barrel that made the timing kinda tough, but unfortunately that lag is back, and I still feel like it hinders the minigame just a little bit. It turns into less of a reflex minigame and more of a guessing luck game because of that. 81, Rockin' Raceway. It's horse races, but with rocking horses. The only issue I see with it is that winning basically completely revolves around getting the orange carrot for unlimited stamina. If you get the purple one even once, you can basically count yourself out. I do like the slow motion replay at the finish line though. Number 80, Facelift. Not terrible, just not as interesting compared to a lot of the other items on this list in my opinion. It is neat that it was originally based on the loading screen from Super Mario 64. Oh god. 79, Dungeon Dash. Do not get this one confused with the far superior Dungeon Duos. All it is tilting the control stick back and forth in sync with your partner. It's budget Dungeon Duos. 78, Burn Style. This is like a 2v2 version of Hot Rope Jump, but it doesn't keep track of how many jumps you've made, and it doesn't let you go for an endless run either. I think if it had both of those things, it would be a little more addicting and would definitely be higher on this list. At 77, we have Later Skater. Later Skater is a satisfying one to play, and I honestly would rather rank it higher, but I think the player who starts on the outside lane is at a severe disadvantage since it's so hard to cut into the inside lane and take the lead, which is super important for winning this minigame. This keeps it from being a little more balanced, and that keeps it from being higher on this list. 76, Parasol Plummet. Most coin minigames are pretty mid, but this one is alright because it's like Mary Poppins. 75, Ice Rink Risk. You don't really have a way of knowing where the next spiny shell is going to drop down, so it keeps you on your toes, but it's fun for what it is. Number 74 is Pit Boss. Similar to Ice Rink Risk, but instead of spiny shells, we're waiting for Bowser to throw giant spike balls at us. Number 73, Money Belts. I have a soft spot for Money Belts because it's from Mario Party 4, and that was my first ever Mario Party when I was just a wee lad. This version definitely feels more balanced. On the old version, you could clean up shop up top if you were the solo player, but not anymore. The movement feels a little more sluggish, making it tougher to get to some of those hard to reach coins. Number 72, Cash-a-Pult. I know I've been trashing the coin minigame so far on this list, but this one's kind of fun because you can keep replaying it to see if you and your partner can manage to get all 20 of the coins that are available. Trust me, it's harder than it looks. It's probably the only coin minigame with this type of replayability. 71, Spotlight Swim. This one is hard for the swimmer, and kinda cruel, honestly. 70, Pokey Pummel. The first person to destroy their entire Pokey by mashing A wins. I think all mashing games are variations of the same deal. They're all fun, but none of them reinvent the wheel, so they kinda sit soundly in the middle tiers of this list. Also, they kinda make my arm hurt. 69, Mecha Marathon. It's another mashing game, but you have to press A and B at the same time. What a twist. Literally. Unlike Pokey Pummel, you get 10 seconds to mash as much as you can rather than having a defined finish line. Whether you like Pokey Pummel or Mecha Marathon better is kind of a matter of personal preference. They're two flavors of the same game. 68, Balloon Burst. This is a 2v2 rhythmic L+R button tapping minigame. The key here is to keep your eye on that gauge. One cool thing is that you can't always tell whose balloon is closer to popping, so the winner is always a true surprise. 67, Slot Card Derby. I'm sure some people are super good at this one and find it extremely fun. I'm sure it's some people's favorite, but I've never been able to figure out how to avoid spinning out for the life of me. It feels like no matter how fast or slow I take the turns, I always spin out. Can someone please give me some tips in the comment section? But hey, there's 3 separate courses here. That's neat. 66, Tackle Takedown. This minigame can be so much fun, but it's over way too fast, which is the only reason it's not higher. The solo player only needs 1 touchdown, and the trio only needs to get 1 tackle. I think the trio should need 3 downs to win, and the solo player should need 3 touchdowns. If you could play this one for longer, it might be more fun than the entire Madden franchise. 65, Goomba Spotting. Don't you ever just want to go on a little Goomba spotting date? I sure do. And Mario Party Superstars makes this possible. I like this one because you can't actually see how many times you press the counter button until the end of the minigame. Speaking of counting, number 64 is Roll Call. Do you know how to count? This guy sure does. All you have to do here is count the toads, or the boos, or the ba-bums. The ba-bums will actually detonate during the counting, so make sure to brush up on both your addition and subtraction skills before embarking on this quest. Or you could just cheat off your friends. 63, Pogo a Go-Go. I find it to be a little difficult for the solo player to pull out the win in this one, mostly because the platform doesn't change the direction it's rotating in quickly enough to pose a huge challenge to the trio. They have plenty of time to adjust and react to the change of direction. It's still not as terribly balanced as Piranha's Pursuit though, and it is fun, which is why it's a bit higher here on the list. 62, Mass Meteor. First things first, this is a fun duel minigame. I like it. Second, it does have one issue. If people have a perfect run because of the auto-scrolling screen, they will tie. I think it should be up to the player how fast they choose to navigate this meteor field. Third, and most importantly, how are they breathing without spacesuits? 61, the final countdown. I'm still not sure whether it's more important to be worrying about your own survival and not falling through the holes, or punching your friends in this one. I prefer punching my friends. Number 60 is Sky Pilots. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. Oh, Number 59, Nightlight Fright. This one is neat. It's like a game of chicken with your friends. Who's gonna have the balls of steel and wait it out the longest with the chain chomp? At number 58, we have Motor Rooter. I like this one. I feel like it could have been just as fun as a 4-person minigame. To me, it feels like it accomplishes everything that Rapid River Race tries to accomplish, but much better. And the original version was made 15 years before Rapid River Race. 57, Mush Pit. In my experience, the first person to grab the jumbo mushroom wins a lot of the time. They give you 60 seconds, but I've only ever really used 15 of them, whether I'm the winner or the loser. It is a nice touch that they gave us the actual jumbo mushroom in this updated version of the minigame, as opposed to a regular mushroom in the original version. 56, Messy Memory. Messy Memory is a great minigame for... Wait, what's this? Is this player cheating? Exiting out of the game, going to Oh, this player's cheating. Come on. 55, Archer Rival. This is a solid 1v3, though it might just be a little easier for the solo player to win this one. There's nothing better than the sheer panic that ensues when one of your friends gets trapped by the NPCs. 54, Cheep Cheep Chase. This is basically a button masher with the added bonus of having to avoid spike balls and a giant Cheep Cheep chasing you down. I appreciate the extra challenge of having to mash while also focusing on timing. 53, Rocky Road. In the old version of this one, it made more sense to jump and kick since it did way more damage. In this one, the punch is way faster, so it makes more sense to just punch that B button. It annoys me that Toad and Toadette aren't playable characters. 52, Coconut Conk. This is a fun minigame, but it's just a little too easy for the people in the trees. The only shot the solo player really has is if a bunch of the bots in the tree end up crushing each other with their ground pounds. The character rolling around in the barrel definitely gets extremely dizzy though. 51, Tipsy Turny. Maybe not as wild as some of the others, but it almost always comes down to the wire when I play with my friends, which I think is a huge plus and something that not every minigame has in common. Whew. Alright folks, we're halfway there. Just give me a second to catch my breath. Nope, just kidding. We are moving full steam ahead into number 50, which is Catch You Letter. This one is fun, it's frantic, and there's a little bit of luck involved with where the love letter spawns in. Also, that Shy Guy is an absolute machine. Look at how fast he runs around. Give this man a raise. 49, Storm Chasers. Something I like about this one is that it's really hard to tell who's actually winning until the very end when your piranha plant grows up. Keeps you in suspense. 48, Title Toss. This is one of the more balanced 1v3s, which is why it cracked my top 50. I can't really say whether the solo player or the trio wins this one more often in my experience, but what I can say is that the right person as the solo player can make things a lot tougher for the trio. 47, Etch and Catch. This one is a solid challenge. The toad stamp tries to run away as you try to draw a closed circle around it with your teammate. Some of the circles you try to draw really come out pathetic looking, which I think adds to the entertainment value of this minigame. 46, Quicksand Cache. This is the best coin minigame in Superstars. It's equally challenging for the trio and for the solo player. It's visually interesting, and it's fun to either avoid getting sucked into the middle or to do the sucking. That did not sound right. 45, Handcar Havoc. This one is about 30 seconds to a minute of pure button mashing and yelling at your partner which way to turn your handcar. The stakes are high here. If you fall off the rails, that's it. You do not get a chance to come back. 44, Bobsled Run. This is a similar kind of fun to Handcar Havoc. Same ideas apply, but instead of button mashing, it's a difficult to navigate slide. The original version is clearly based on the ice slide level from Super Mario 64. It's probably a good thing that they got rid of the penguins in this version. 43, Monty's Revenge. This one is great and chaotic. The only bad thing I have to say about it is that sometimes it gets so fast that you can't even really tell that your head isn't poking out of the ground because it's stuck under another player. You also get so engrossed and focused in this minigame that you literally can't tell who's winning until the time is up. 42, Skewer Scurry. And here we have one of the few bright spots from Mario Party 10. I like this minigame. It can be a little hard for the solo player to win, but it honestly depends on who you're playing with. The skewers look and sound really menacing. Playing as the trio is actually anxiety-inducing. 41, Bombs Away. Overall a fun minigame, but I frequently find myself tying with computers and human players on this one alike, which keeps it from punching just a little higher on the list. Number 40, Reverse-A-Bomb. Don't get blown up. Number 39, Squared Away. This is like a fun game of kill the man with the ball, except everyone is a cube and there's no ball. And yeah, it's really not that much like kill the man with the ball. 38, Bounce and Trounce. You have a workout ball pogo stick thing, and you have to knock your enemies off a collapsing platform. This one is great chaotic fun. Also, this can happen.
Winner!
37, Shell Soccer. Shell Soccer is very fun, and it's a really cool inclusion as part of the little sports section in the minigame mode. But the only issue with it as one of the featured sports minigames is that unlike volleyball and ice hockey, you can't really change out the time limit and customize your game the same way, because rather than scoring points, the winner is the first team to knock out all of their opponent's Goombas. It's fun, but it's inferior to the other two sports games that we'll get to later in the list. 36, Bill Blasters. I like this one, but sometimes I get dizzy when I play it. 35, Crazy Cutters. I love me a good tracing minigame, though on this one, it can be tough to see the images when your character is actually moving up. Even when we have 3 different images we can choose to trace, I still believe there is a superior tracing minigame present in Superstars. 34, Look Away. This is an extremely simple minigame, but it's iconic. I'm glad there's a bit of a lag after the music stops for players to try and juke each other out. It keeps things interesting, and at least gives off the illusion that the minigame requires some level of skill. 33, Dizzy Dancing. This one is a vast improvement over its original version, which is why it's higher on this list. In the original, you would only have to collect 1 musical note in the middle of the stage to win, making for a very quick victory for anyone who could quickly pick up on the wonky controls. This version gives you 30 seconds to collect more notes than the other players, which balances the minigame better and makes it far more enjoyable in my opinion. 32, Cake Factory. I like cake, I like working as a team, I like factories. This game checks all the boxes. 31, Vine With Me. I like this one because I get to be like Tarzan. 30, Tread Carefully. It's a good old-fashioned tank war. What else can I say? 29, Hide and Sneak. Now this is a pretty simple minigame. Why am I ranking it so high? Because of the absolute psychological warfare that occurs when you play this one with a room of 4 players. If I say, everybody go to B, does that mean I'm really going there? Will my teammates actually join me if I go to B? Am I lying? Was my teammate lying when they said they would join me? Is the whole team really going to be hiding behind B for the memes? Is someone hacking and hiding behind the mailbox? 28, Mario's Puzzle Party. This one is solid. It's basically Puyo Puyo, but with some Mario Party twists like thwomps and brick blocks. I've heard people compare it to Tetris, and I just want to say that it is not Tetris. It is far from it. Get your facts straight, bucko. 27, Coney Island. I love ice cream. 26, Pushy Penguins. I also love penguins. 25, Tube It or Lose It. I just love cold things, apparently. This is a nicely balanced minigame. It's satisfying to pop tubes as the solo player, and when you're in the tube trio, it's fun to break some ankles and try to juke out the solo player. Makes me want to go sledding. 24, Eats a Pizza. Button mashing, precise navigation, and pizza all in the same minigame? Count me in. 23, Picking Panic. This one is fun because it's so easy to get into a good rhythm with it. It's so satisfying to throw or catch a good pass. It's the kind of 2v2 minigame that really doesn't require any verbal communication between partners. Only vibing. 22, Speed Hockey. This one is basically Duo's air hockey, but with a Koopa shell. This would have been a good one to add to the sports mode, so you could set a higher score limit or maybe even a time limit. The longer the point goes, the faster the Koopa shell moves. It can get really frantic. Also, you can score on yourself. 21, Goal! One of the best 1v3s out there. Honestly, this minigame alone might be more fun than the entire FIFA franchise. Number 20, Boulder Ball. And this one is my personal favorite 1v3 minigame from Superstars. It feels pretty balanced to me. When you're the solo player, it's very satisfying to just spam boulders and crush your friends. When you're part of the trio, it's always exciting when you're almost at the tippity top. And the feeling of defeat when you get crushed by a boulder just before making it is a feeling that isn't easily replicated in many other minigames. You always feel like you have a fighting chance no matter how many times you get flattened. 19, Bumper Balloon Cars. This one gets intense, especially when there are only 2 people left. You have to walk a fine line between defending your balloon and also going on the offensive to pop your friends' balloons. Strategic and intense. That's a great mix. Number 18, Snowball Summit. This one is a pretty similar concept to Bumper Balloon Cars, except we're at the peak of a mountain and have to roll giant snowballs at each other to knock each other off. There's nothing more satisfying than hurling the biggest possible snowball you can make at one of your friends and auto-KOing them. 17, Paths of Peril. Precision, focus, momentum. These are just a few of the things you'll need to conquer the paths of peril. One misstep and you'll find yourself plummeting to the dark depths of the deadly canyon below. And then you'll get rescued and lose the minigame. 16, Dinger Derby. Now who's down for some good old-fashioned American baseball? This minigame is addictive. Sometimes I'll crack open a nice big bag of chewing tobacco, nice big bag of big leaf chew, and sit back to try to go for that perfect game of 30 hits. Number 15, Shy Guy Says. This is definitely easier than it used to be back in its Nintendo 64 days, but I think that makes it even more fun because you can take a game of Shy Guy Says pretty deep when you're playing with your friends. When I think of Mario Party minigame staples, this is definitely one of the minigames that comes to mind. 14. Bowser's Big Blast. This is the best luck-based minigame in the entire Mario Party franchise. Luckily, there's a surefire strategy to win. If you choose your character's color, it should always guarantee your safety. Number 13, What Goes Up. It's kind of like Leaf Leap, but with the added frustration of needing platforming skills to navigate around the paratroopas. It's addicting trying to beat your high score in this one, and there's nothing worse than getting really close to beating your score and then hitting your head on a goddamn paratroopa. Speaking of Leaf Leap, number 12 is not Leaf Leap, it's actually Stick and Spin. It's criminal that this minigame doesn't pop up in the actual party mode because it's addicting and it is awesome. You have to connect 5 colored balls to each other to make them disappear by rotating your puzzle board, and you can't let them overflow. It was great when it debuted in Mario Party 7, and it's great now. Definitely my favorite puzzle minigame from the 3 that are featured in puzzle mode. Number 11, Snow World. I'm pretty sure I'm missing a chunk of my thumb from trying to beat my high score on this one. Some people have taken this game extremely far and gotten perfect 9,990 degree turns without using any tools to assist them. That's insane. If you made it this far into the video and haven't liked and subscribed, what are you doing? Number 10, Hot Rope Jump. These endless minigames are honestly pretty gosh darn addicting. I can feel my heart rate go up as I get further and further. That's the sign of a great minigame. Number 9, Tick Tock Hop. This is by far the best dual minigame in the lineup for Mario Party Superstars. The curveballs that come when the hour and minute hands both start moving at the same time and changing speeds really keep you on the edge of your seat, whether you're a spectator or a player. Going at it in this minigame at the end of a 30-turn party with stars on the line, that's where the real intensity ramps up. That's where Mario Party memories are made. And big theme for this video, as you can kind of start to tell with the top winners in this list, it has an endless mode where you can try to beat your high scores. These endless modes are a huge deal because it turns minigame mode into an addicting arcade mode. Number 8, Trace Race. I love Trace Race. I've spent the better part of my 25 years of life perfecting the craft of it. Ever since it came out in Mario Party 4, it's been an integral part of my day. I don't go to bed at night without a couple of runs of Trace Race, as you can tell by my perfect run. Number 7, Mushroom Mix-Up. This is the definition of destroying friendships through Mario Party. One of the most depressing feelings in Mario Party is when one of your friends ground pounds you on a mushroom that's slowly descending into the water. All you can do is hopelessly watch as everyone else scurries to safety. They've left you for the bloopers, and only the Lord knows where they take the fallen players. Number 6, Beach Volley Folly. So this one doesn't actually pop up when you're playing a normal game of Mario Party. It's part of that sports and puzzles section in minigame mode. But if you play this with your friends, you are guaranteed to have a good time. I think this is probably my favorite way to play volleyball in any video game I've ever played. It could even be my favorite way to play volleyball, period. Number 5, Ice Hockey. Just like Beach Volley Folly, this has the potential to turn into an all-out war. It really is a genuinely good ice hockey engine. It might be more fun than the entire NHL series. Sometimes your Shy Guy goalie can be completely useless, and sometimes your character wastes time getting back into position. But I know this minigame is top 10 quality because I've played this and Beach Volley Folly for close to 2 hours without stopping before with a group of my friends. I can't say that about any of the other minigames on this list. Number 4, Leaf Leap. This is extremely addicting, and I cannot tell you how many times I've played this one just trying to beat my high score. I have played this to the point of delusion. I have played this until my eyes bled. It's so simple, but it's so good. Number 3 is Bumper Balls. This is another one of those iconic Mario Party minigames where when you say Mario Party, this is a minigame that some people might think of immediately. This version adds some nice new variations to the stages, making each time you play this minigame a unique experience. When it gets down to a 1v1, there can be some real tense standoffs. Anyone can play this minigame too, it's such a balanced experience. The chaos this minigame causes, the balance that it has, how iconic it is, makes it totally worthy of its rank at number 3. Number 2 is Booksquirm. This minigame is absolutely legendary. Another Mario Party 4 classic. Like Hot Rope Jump, you can play this one endlessly, and it's another one that really gets that heart rate up as you reach those higher scores. My heart rate goes up playing a few of these. I might need to get that checked out. But as you've heard me say a few times already in this video, I really think that adding these endless modes to these minigames makes it that much more addicting. I have turned on Mario Party Superstars and Mario Party 4 in the past just to play Booksquirm. That's it. And I think that's something that makes Mario Party such an iconic series. The board game element of Mario Party is a game in and of itself, but the mini-games within the games are sometimes amazing arcade creations on their own. Booksquirm is just a testament to that, and that's why it's number 2 on this list. And the number 1 minigame in Mario Party Superstars is Dungeon Duos. This is one of the only minigames on the entire list that gets everyone hyped when it pops up in the middle of a game. From the button mashing walls and platforming in the beginning, to the pipe guessing in the middle, to blowing up your escape balloon at the end, this is an entire adventure in one minigame. It's like a challenge ripped straight out of Survivor. There's nothing better than when a game of Dungeon Duos comes down to the wire, and when you eventually win, it genuinely feels like you and your teammate have bonded closer. It's actual teamwork. This is the pinnacle of 2 versus 2 minigame design. Honestly, this is the pinnacle of minigame design in general, and although I hold many of the minigames on this list near and dear to my heart, there's nothing else that I'd rather put at number 1 than Dungeon Duos. And that's gonna do it for this doozy of a video, folks. Hit me up in the comments below to let me know which minigames are your favorites. Is there anything that you think I ranked too low or maybe too high? Is there anything that you feel like got left out of Superstars? I wanna know what you think. Thank you to everyone who has helped me hit 100 subscribers. This is only the beginning for Game Guy 53. Unless, of course, I end up booking a flight on X-Ray Airlines, in which case, you may never hear from me again.